Paul, a disappointing result here at Winner Recruitment Stadium, but it was always going to be an uphill challenge when Warrington went down to 10 men early on.
Yeah, it was. You know, we give ourselves a lot to do. It's daft from Ben. You know, he's had a tough couple of days, Ben, and you know, without going into it, you know, I maybe should have done things maybe a little bit differently. But you know, I think he's unfortunate really on the first one, especially the way the game panned out. But you know, fair credit to the lads, they've kept going till the end and they've made a game of it, and in the second half of the better team.
A few injuries, but we've seen the likes of Bowen Dixon and a few others step in. Dylan mentioned it themselves, any players are ready to step in when needed and called upon you?
Yeah, it's important that we have that squad. You know, we didn't have it last season. We didn't have it at the back end of last season, and that's shown in our results and shown in the way we just limped towards the playoffs and limped out of the playoffs. So it's important we've got those players and strong players, and not just lads who are going to come in and fill in, lads who are going to come in and stay in because they're good enough to, and that's strength in depth that you need.
We saw Jack McCracken come off at half time. Was that a tactical change or is there an injury concern with him?
Yeah, he took a bit of a knock in his face. He's all right, but it was tactical as well. I just felt we needed to go two up front and have a little bit more presence rather than the ball just keep coming back at us. Put Josh on with Connor, and then changed it with put Josh and Marcus on. So yeah, it was more tactical than anything else.
And then we saw Marcus Kusani. I believe it was his first goal for Warrington. Is that something the fans should expect more from him as well?
I hope so. He's got something. He's come from Ashton Athletic. He's a handful. He can run. You know, he's 6'3". He's got a turn and a trick in him. You know, he could be important for us. He scored a good goal today, which will do his confidence no harm whatsoever.
A few penalty shouts in that game and a few free kick shouts ignored by the referee. Is that frustrating to see on the sideline?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've just been in to see the referee there and just asked him a few questions. It was more about being consistent than anything else. I said, if there's no contact on Dylan, why haven't you booked him for diving the same way you booked Ben? And he said, no, I felt there was contact. So I said, well, if there's contact and he's gone over in the box, is it not a penalty? And he said, well, I didn't feel there was enough contact. I said, well, if it's given enough to go over, then surely. But he's just made a load of excuses about his decisions and his inconsistencies, which, to be honest, I said before the game, to the lads in the dressing room, I feel you're going to have to beat him as well today, because I didn't think he looked up for it, or up to it. He was quite nervous, but, you know, it's another game for him to develop, I hope, and he looks back on it and he manages to see a few clips if he asks for a video, which he should do if he's got anything about him in terms of his own development. But we never started too well in the first half. We went a man down, but we scored a good goal. But it was the nature of our goals that disappointed me today.
Some good individual performances. I thought Dylan Vassallo played well on the wing, and a few others in the team today that played well.
Yeah, I thought Robbie Evans was very good. Robbo's been very good. And Dylan again was very lively. We've had some solid performances today. Bowen, when he dropped deeper, was good on the ball and made things happen for us. I just think he blew up a little bit, being a man down and playing a deeper role where he's asked to do more work in terms of as a more orthodox central midfielder. So, but then you see Russ come on and make a big impact, because you know he made things happen. He made the goal, if you like, made chances, went past people from the middle of the pitch, which is going to be important. So I feel Russ will be a big player for us in this running.
And the journey now, 8 games left. It's going to be tense, but it's going to be an exciting one for yourself and the fans.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm disappointed today. Obviously, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose at all. You know, they're a team who've got a strong squad. To have the likes of Briscoe on the bench and Mills and players like that, you know, they don't come cheap. You know, Barry signed a strong squad in the summer and spent a few quid, and that's you know, it obviously hasn't worked. It hasn't gelled for them, but they're fighting for their lives and they've got good players, and I don't see them being anywhere near the bottom 3 come the end of the season. But I was more disappointed, but I'm not downbeat too much, because we've been a better team in the second half and we've had really good chances.
Is it Whitby Town at home next week?
Whitby at home next week, yeah. We've had a good win today. I think they beat Bamber Bridge 3-1. So yeah, another tough game. They're all tough. You know, I think Whitby are one of the few sides with not a lot to play for, but if you take any side for granted, or you take any situation for granted, it bites you on the backside. We don't do that, and we won't be doing that from now till the end of the season, no matter who we're playing. We know it's going to be a tough game. They've got some good players, and like I say, they've had a good win today on the road, so we'll be in for another tough one. Obviously missing Ben, which makes it tougher, because he's been outstanding for us this season. But we go in it. I think we've had one defeat in 17, 18 before today. So if we can put a run like that together between now and the end of the season, we'll be all right.
And a quick one on injuries. Thanks for joining us in the cold. We saw Josh Amos come on in the second half. Is he back to full fitness or close? And then we saw Jack Dunn, I think, stretching and having a bit of a warm up, but he didn't feature. So is he close to return? Well,
Jack done a load of running before the game, so he'll be back. He'll be back for next week. Josh, obviously, he's come on, and it's a little bit, more of a needs must with the way the situation was. But we'll probably know more tomorrow with how he reacts to it. If he's okay, then all well and good. Hopefully he will be.